Hey guys, SGT here with a food and metals report. I spent some time today at what I unaffectionately refer to as one of the super centers nearby, and upon checking out, the gal asked me what I was doing with so much food, and I said, there's an economic collapse coming to this country. Plan now. And she laughed. She actually thought that was funny. Here's the point. There are people out there that we can't help and don't want to help themselves. But as for the rest of us, buy storable food now. It remains cheap at this very moment in time, despite the meteoric rise in price of wheat, up 54% since June. Sugar's up 114%, and corn is up 79%, along with most other commodities, including silver. Buy food now for storage. This instant. Go. Tonight. Tomorrow. Buy food in any amount you are able to buy it. Just as silver was cheap 1 year ago at $14.32 an ounce, food is cheap today compared to what it will cost 1 year hence, and perhaps much, much sooner. Well, the consensus is in the Fed policy, what they codedly refer to as quantitative easing, is plain and simply money printing, and governments around the world are condemning this Fed policy and calling it insane. Li Deshui from the Economic Commission in Beijing, China, stated that a string of Asian states share China's deep bitterness over dollar debasement. Toby Nangle from Baring Asset Management in London said, quote, "In our view, this is one of the greatest policy mistakes in the Fed's history." Now, those of us in the know would correct Toby and explain to him that this is by no means a mistake. This is all being done by design. The Fed intends to destroy the dollar, and now there's no turning back. I would remind folks that Alex McKenzie said at the Silver Summit when he spoke about hyperinflation in the Weimar Republic, quote, "For every $1 trillion added to the money supply, that is the equivalent of adding $4,000 to the price of 1 ounce of gold." Now, oil has jumped nearly 20% in the past few weeks and currently sits at $87 a barrel. It will go much higher as the dollar loses value. Those with an informed gambler's instinct may want to consider an oil double-long ETF. If Lindsey Williams' latest predictions are correct, oil is going back to between $150 to $200 a barrel, while silver and gold remain the currency of the elite. As for silver, Kaplan Fox jumps into the feeding frenzy and sues JP Morgan and HSBC on behalf of investors for futures and options contract losses caused by market manipulation. Meanwhile, the writing is on the wall for the banks as CFTC-induced position limits are to be coming this winter. If true, it will force JP Morgan and HSBC to unload a great many of their gold and silver contracts. One way or another, this decades-long price suppression of gold and silver is coming to an end. Pullback or not, my strategy continues to be buying physical silver regularly regardless of price. To quote Gata, "The gold cartel has gone to the well too many times. They have been found out. The lawsuits against them say it all." Now, Eric Sprott's new physical silver fund, PSLV, has its physical metal. Word is that Sprott's hunt around the globe for his $500 million of the white metal was secured for just under $26 an ounce. For those of you who are having difficulty securing physical silver for whatever reason, you may want to consider making a purchase of PSLV. And guys, one last word on the moral hazard that is quantitative easing. Once again, the foolish middle and upper middle class of this country remains in their hypnotized state and believes that everything is just fine. As the Fed's announcement sent stocks higher, the brainwashed masses actually believe the Fed has their best interests at heart, not understanding what the Fed is, when it was founded, or who owns it. As long as their 401ks and IRAs appear to soar, they're happy. Our morally bankrupt masses seem to have no care whatsoever for those on fixed incomes and for the working poor, who will have no defense against a hyperinflationary environment and soaring energy and food prices, which are now sure to come. With the exception of Ron Paul and precious few others, there is no knight in shining armor coming to slay the madmen who seek to destroy our nation. And while they march in the streets of France, a country in which the government is afraid of its people, the idiot masses in the United States of America celebrate another change of the guard in Washington in a faux battle which amounts to nothing but a whimper in the night as the Republic falls. May God save the truth-tellers and the Republic of the United States of America. Thanks for watching. Good night.